Pakistan has won it 5 times. In what appears to be an evenly matched out game, the host's 12th man could come into play, the over 20,000 fans. And to discuss furthermore, I have here with me Bikram Thapa, Chief Editor, GolNepal.com, and Shahrukh Sohail, Chief Editor, Football Pakistan. Bikram, I'll start with you. What do you make out of last performance from the Nepali team where they beat Bangladesh 2-0?
Well, it was a satisfactory performance, but it could have been far better. But the win is important, and in the first match, collecting 3 points is very important.
Right. There were youngsters who stepped onto the occasion, but once Jumanur Rai was introduced to the field in the later part of the game, he too produced some brilliant efforts.
Fantastic. He's a senior man, he provided a very good pass to Rohit Chand, but Rohit could not utilize that.
Right.
It was fantastic. He uses his experience and created some moves. So he's a man, who can guide, who can, teach all the juniors to, on the field. He can inspire the players. So it's a very important player in the team.
All in all, you make out that Nepal is happy with their first performance?
We have to. The team must be happy with the performance, but, as I said, it could have been far better. They just can't get carried away with the performance. They just need to remain focused for the match against today's match.
Shahrukh, what do you make out of Pakistan's performance? There was a lot of criticisms when it came to the Indian team side. There were a lot of questions being raised, but the scoreline reflected 1-0, and the scoreline was not in the favor of Pakistan.
Yes, once you look at the game, Pakistan definitely played the better of the two teams in the first half, and as the game go on, India slowly got into the tempo and raised their game. But Pakistan were definitely unlucky, and they'll have to see that their striker Hassan Bashir, who missed a couple of chances but hit the post as well, he's got to improve, find the back of the net this time, and perhaps Kalimullah, who also plays as striker, will have to improve his game and alongside Hassan find the back of the net.
What was the response of the dressing room like after losing the first game to India, that too because of an own goal by the captain Samar Ishaq?
Well, definitely the squad was very disappointed that they eventually lost the game and couldn't get 3 points, but they were very, very satisfied with how their attacking play went. They got a very good winger in Adil, who was brilliant against Mohan Raj, and since they got their attacking play together, they stringed a couple of passes and the playmaking was excellent. I think Pakistan will be very pleased with their performance, although they don't have 3 points to their name.
Talking about that own goal from Samar Ishaq, Kamran Khan was just ahead of him. There's the goalkeeper behind. What do you think went wrong there?
Well, basically it's mistakes between all of the defense and the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper was out of his box, he called for the ball, Kamran jumped, Sam was behind him. So eventually it boils down to all of three of them. But I think the coach actually blames Kamran and the goalkeeper for us, because Samar was running behind and he couldn't see the ball when it came towards him. And it was just unlucky for Pakistan that they conceded a very soft own goal, which never should have happened in the first place.
Right. And were you happy with the way Pakistan played after conceding that own goal?
Definitely, it was a brilliant response from Pakistan, and considering that they've been utilizing the long ball strategies in the past couple of months, it was a very good sight to see them play short passes, attacking play, going on the wing, crossing. So it was a very positive performance of Pakistan, and I hope they will repeat it this time as well.
Right. Nepal too, there were a lot of concerns coming into this championship because they were not being able to score, and also the midfield was not delivering enough passes for the forward players to score. But really, they've shut all critics up with their first game, haven't they?
Yes, you can say that, but the midfielders need to be creative more. The midfielders who are in the team right now, they have to deliver it. We could not see much of the game from the midfielders, but the strikers, Anil Gurung and Bharat Kawaz, they really played well, causing a lot of trouble to the the goalkeepers and the defenders as well. So I think in today's game also, the midfielders need to be very creative. We don't have any concern on the defense line and the goalkeeper, but our main concern is from the midfield line and the striker. So they need to be very careful because Pakistani players, especially in the midfield line, Adnan and the striker Hassan Bashir, is very good. They are very good players. So the important part is to be creative. Delivering, supplying the enough ball to the advancing players. Bharat Kawaz is in good form, even though he didn't train with the team for a long time. So midfielders need to be very worried about their capabilities and their delivering to the supplying the balls to the frontliners.
Right. Well, that was the first game of the tournament, Nepal versus Bangladesh. How do you think the strategies are going to differ when they're playing against a team like Pakistan?
Well, Pakistan is a tough team. It's the physical side, I would say. Nepal always love to play technical game. So in the first match, coach adopted like 4-4-2 formation, later changing to 4-1-3 to formation. So it's going to be interesting for me if the coaches are going to fill the same formation against Pakistan. I think they have to change a little bit. Pakistan, the striker is very clinical, very good player. So we just need to tighten our defense line, making the frontliners, just position themselves in the front line, and just a little bit crowded midfielders who can just play in the wings. So causing, pulling the players, Pakistani players, backside and creating more chances and using maximum use of the field, using the field overall.
Right. Do you think it's a bit of a bother for Nepali coach Jack Stefanowiski that, India has Sunil Chetri, Maldives has Ali Ashfaq, who was brilliant yesterday. So all the teams have got one, player, one striker. Pakistan has Ashan Bashir,
right.
But we've not been able to create that.
Fantastic question for that. In Nepal, we need to have players like Ali Ashfaq or even Hassan Bashir, Sunil Chetri. We don't have it, but the players which we have in our team, like they are good players. It's just a matter of not delivering, They're good players. They have been, Juman Rai has 10 goals. He's already scored 10 goals in the international football. But the problem is that, you are not utilizing the chances. You have to utilize the chances, The strikers are not delivering. That's the only part. And the worrying part is that strikers are not delivering.
Right. Pakistan do have Hassan Bashir, who played exceptionally well last game. But do you think there needs to be someone else going forward with him?
Yes, in the last game, Pakistan played a 4-1-4-1 formation with Zesterman anchoring as the midfield. So when Pakistan conceded the goal, Kamran Khan came off and Zesterman moved back into center defense. And that way, Pakistan played really well because the defense line held up well. Now it's interesting to see because Yaqub Butt did not play in the last game. The coach might opt for him as a defensive midfielder and then retain the same formation. But in the last game, Kalimullah was told to drop back into midfield and then allow Adnan to stay up front. I think that could change because Kalimullah has a much better attacking tendency than Adnan. He could form a very good partnership with Hassan up front, and then those two could rely on through balls or passes from the wing and from Adnan, and then hopefully find the back of the net.
Right. The duo of Mohammad Adil and Hassan Bashir was what was praised about in the entire game. What did you make of that?
Yes, definitely. This also has to be mentioned that the Indian left back on the occasion, Mohan Rat, wasn't really experienced, and Adil made full use of that. He dribbled all around him and basically brought in every ball that he could. And Hassan made full use of that as well. He was unlucky to find the back of the net. And for this time, I think the Nepali defense will be specifically focusing on Hassan, perhaps two markers on him at one time. That is also a benefit for Nepal, but that could also damage them, as if they focus on Hassan, other strikers could get a chance to score.
Right, and that is what Pakistan didn't they? They absolutely marked out the captain of the Indian national team, the hero of their team, Sunil Chetri, and you could not see him in the picture until the 60th minute.
Yeah, today our defenders need to be very careful for the Hassan Bashir, Kalamullah. So, he was just pushed back to the midfield in the match against India. But now I think he's most probably partnering with the Hassan Bashir, if I'm not wrong, because, but our defenders, have to work very hard today, the responsibility on them. And it is going to be a totally different match against Pakistan, always Nepal and Pakistan is like 1920 match, the level of the game is same. So it's just, we play technical game, and Pakistan normally rely on the physical, the more powerful game. So yes, there need to be coordination between defenders and midfielders, because from going to third zone to first zone, there should be proper communication between the players. And we have good wingers in the form of Ravin Shrestha and Virat Shrestha. And the advantage is that Rohit Chand is in our defensive line, who can just support to the defenders and even go to overlapping, who can score goal. That's the advantage for us.
Right. Well, we just know that in papers it's a very close match, right? But when you go to the field, 22,000 fans cheering all for Nepal. Bangladesh coach said it was impossible to play here. Do you think that's going to make a lot of difference in today's game?
Yes, it's going to be play a major role in today's game. The 22,000 are going to be supporting Nepal all the way, and definitely the pressure will be on Pakistani players to perform. However, the coach can counter that by making sure that Nepal don't get the ball. That's the only way that Pakistan can counter Nepal. They keep possession to themselves and don't allow Nepal to play the natural game. When Nepal chase the game, they can try to counter them as well. So the Pakistani team has to make sure that they keep the majority of the ball possession, and when they do that, they can also silence the crowd.
Right. Keeping possession is one of their strategies. What do you think are the other playmaking strategies of Pakistan going into this game?
Basically, Pakistan will obviously be looking to attack from the flanks. Pakistan's wingers are particularly good when it comes to crosses, and as you can see, Hassan Bashir utilized that to a very good effect. So once crosses start coming in from the right flank with Adil, Hassan Bashir can profit from that. There's also a very good interesting point that Riaz Ahmed, who's a youngster, only 18, he only played his second game against India. So he was playing on the left wing, but he's tried to drift inside during the game. So the coach might opt for Faisal Iqbal on the left wing so that you can pull in crosses for Hassan and Kaleem more often.
Right. Do you think the Nepali coach, Jack Stefanowiski, of course, he was delighted after that first win, right? But is open to changes now? Can we see a bit of, the child prodigy, Bimal Gortimagor, or any changes in the entire lineup?
I think he's not going to change much in this squad, but I think he's going to change Jagdish Shrestha, who is not completely fit. He might fill in Prakash Parathoki or even Tonka Basnet, which is very quick.
Right.
So I don't think that there will be much changes in the squad, which is going with the same team formation and the same player except Jagdish Shrestha.
There were a few comments that Nepal were only attacking from one wing, the right wing, and the left wing was vacant. All the attacks they portrayed was from the right wing. Do you think Nepal needs to work on a more universal style of play?
Right. They need to use a universal way of football, but and they will definitely use they have to play technical game today. I would not say Sohail said that Pakistan will definitely rely on the wings. So we need to tight mark out the defenders on wing side.
Right.
Not letting the Pakistani players to cross from the wings. So that's the only part that we need to worry about. See, we have very good defense line. We can just support to the midfielders with the help of Rohit Chand.
Right.
Since Bharat and Anil are looking good form, so it's going to be very, very good game if they get good opportunity, good ball supplying from midfield line. So I think they can score goal because the emotion is running high on them. When the emotion runs high, you become powerfully strong and you can deliver. That's what's happening to Anil Gurung and Bharat Khawas.
Right. So I'll come back to Bharat Khawas, but you mentioned Anil Gurung. This is a player who's criticized a lot before coming into this tournament because he could not be able to perform in international matches. But he came in, scored a goal, and you could really see the commitment that Nepali players are putting into this championship.
I think this is the right time for him to silence the critic. He have worked really hard. In 21 days of foreign camp, he played really well, and even they scored enough goals. He's in good form. Trust me, he's in good form, and he wants to prove it. He wants to silence the critic. That's the main thing.
Right. Shahrukh, we've talked about the Pakistani attacking players. What about the Pakistani defenses? Are they capable enough to stop players like Rohit Chand, for that matter, supplying balls, Bola Silwal, and then Bharat Khawas or Anil Gurung coming into squad?
Yes, I think they could definitely silence those kind of players. You've got Mohammad Ahmed playing on the left as a left back last time, and he was particularly good. And then you've got Samar Sak, who did mess up for that goal, but after that horror show, he did improve considerably. Then you've also obviously got Zesh Rahman, who's, I think he played an excellent game last time, and he didn't need to make a single tackle because he was very close to the ball and close to the attackers. So the defensive line will be particularly strong against Nepal, and I think if they hold out well like they did against India for the most of the match, they'll be able to stop their attack.
Right, and when you talk about Nepal, they shouldn't be getting too overexcited of that first win because you have to look at one game at a time. And also, if you look at the Bangladeshi side that Nepal beat, they were not players of international class included. For example, Roni did not play, Mamoon did not play.
Right.
So Nepal still have a point to prove, don't they?
They have a lot of things to prove, Suraj. I'm telling you, see, this is going to be different match than Bangladesh. This is different team. Pakistan and the playing standard of playing level of different. All the South Asian level is same, the Pakistan plays different game. So it doesn't mean that we can't Nepal can't beat Pakistan. But since in these 5 matches, in 3 matches, Nepal haven't won against Pakistan. They came here last February and defeated us in a 2-match series.
Right.
But there is a jinx. Bharat Khawas jinx in the Nepal team because Bharat Khawas is scoring goal against Pakistan. In 2008 also, Bharat Khawas scored, and in 2011, Bharat Khawas scored. So I think in today's match also, it is going to be very interesting to see him scoring against Pakistan, I would say.
Right, right. So you're counting on Khawas to score. There were a lot of criticisms coming into Khawas as well because of his second Lieutenant Army trainings. He was restricted from, the practice matches, and then he did not travel with the team. But he really came on to prove that, a star is a star.
Yes, of course, he's a very good player, a real fighter, Savia, he worked very hard, The advantage is that, he's under cadet course where a lot of physical things going on, so he's fit.
Right, very true.
That's why, and it's not a problem for him.
Also, there was a very early substitution in the game between India and Pakistan from the Pakistani side. Kamran Khan was substituted. What made you think the coach did that?
Well, Kamran was struggling against India in the first game, and he was coping well with the style of play that India adopted. So the coach opted to substitute him. He brought him Saddam Hussain, who played as defensive midfielder. Zash came back into center defense, and then Pakistan considerably improved. Zash kept out most of the attacking players from India, and Sunil Chetty was silent throughout the game. So I think he's going to opt for a similar strategy. He might replace the defensive midfielder, but I think the back line is going to remain the same.
Right. Jagjit Shrestha not playing because he's injured, or more unlikely to play. What do you think is the impact going to be in the Nepali team?
Yes, it's a big blow to Nepal. Jagjit is not fit. He's a killer, but there are...
He was your player of the match.
Yes, if he was 100% fit, then he would have been made quite impact on the match. But I would say there are enough players in the team who can fill the void. Even the coach can fill in, Prakash Padathuki or Tonka Basnet, which is really quick. So, I think it's not a worrying part for the coach, Jackie Stefanitsky, and I think he's already all prepared for the formation, with the same formation with the 1 or 2 changes in the team.
Right. One player after that game who did not receive the glory but played really well was Raju Tamang, wasn't he?
Yes, he's always maestro, midfield maestro in the team, and he can deliver. He can kick the ball well. He uses his brain. He has got a vision. So he's always an important player in the team, And in today's match also, he's going to be one of the influential players for the match against Pakistan.
Right. So when you come back to Pakistan, who do you think is really going to step up and make sure that they remain in the tournament? Because Pakistan have to give everything they have right now.
Yes, and last time my man to perform was Hassan Bashir, and I think he's going to score today. He's been training specifically on scoring goals, and he was very disappointed not to get on the score sheet. He was lying on the field after the game, so I think he's ready to go. He's shown that he can score. He just has to find the back of the net today, and I think he will.
So earlier in February 2013, when Pakistan traveled to Nepal, Hassan Bashir played exceptionally well, right? So you can count on him to come really in Darshak Rangashala and just overlook the crowd and just go ahead and perform.
Yes, he's familiar with Nepal's style of play, and although Pakistan are playing differently than they did in February, I think he's going to probably get over his nerves and score. He's been at North Zealand in the Danish Superliga before. He's used to big crowds. He's a very good player. He's shown his caliber, and I think he'll get over his nerves and score.
Right, and the fact that the last 3 games between these 2 teams, Nepal have lost twice, and 1 match has been drawn. How much is that going to tingle the heads of the Nepali players?
I think that won't put so much pressure on the Nepal team, because this is the much improved side. When the coach Jackie Stefanitsky took the power in the team, it was his first friendly series against Pakistan, and it was he was experimenting that time. Now he's known to all the players. He knows everything about the players' character and everything. So he must have made a special strategy to stop Hassan Bashir, because he knows him well. So I think the coach has made a special strategy to stop the attack of Pakistan.
Right, and of course those 2 being his first official international matches, this is a good way to come back and take revenge on the Pakistani team, right? When you think about today's game, if Pakistan lose, there are very minimal chances of them qualifying. So do you think Nepal, having had a win already, will play more defensive and look towards finishing this in a draw?
Yes, I think if Nepal drew today, it would be a good result for them, because Pakistan are going to go all out for a win. They can't take a second chance on that.
Right.
So Nepal will look to capitalize on that. Perhaps drop back defensive. Rohit Chand could also form a very good backline with 5 perhaps. So yes, Pakistan are going to go out for the win if they don't score in the first half, which will settle the game perhaps. If somebody scores early, they're going to probably drop back defensive and maintain that for the rest of the game. If Pakistan don't do that, they'll have to change their formation, perhaps go for an all-out win with 4-3-3. So definitely it's the pressure to perform on Pakistan, and if they don't score or they don't win, it's all over.
Right. Bikram, what do you think about it? You spent a lot of time with the Nepali football team. So do you think they're going to go for a win, or they're going to be happy with
Yes,
the draw?
of course, there is no option to win. Since you have already won 3 points in Kitty, then knowing that another win will put you 1 foot closer to the semi-finals. So I think they are all going for a win, ready to fire all cylinders they have. So I think they are all ready to win the match, and I know boys are all excited, motivated. So, and the main important thing is 12th man in the more than 22,000 crowd there, supporting, roaring for Nepal. So it's going to see a good match, very tight match, narrow match, and I would go for like Nepal, very slight margin win.
Right, and also if you look at the Nepali national team, one thing they've never portrayed is maturity. So if Pakistan go on to score the first goal and silence the crowd-packed stadium, do you think that is going to be a lot of pressure in Nepal?
Yes, very much a lot of pressure, and I would say the first 30 minutes match is very important for both sides. If any team score within 30 minutes, then the game will be finished before halftime because Pakistan defense line is very good. If they score in the first half or first 30 minutes, it will be very difficult for Nepalese side to break through. So first 30 minutes is very important, and either side who will score the goal will definitely win the match.
Right. You believed in Hassan Bashir scoring today. Do you think he's going to continue to be the player of the match in today's game?
Yes, I do believe so. But as Vikram mentioned, that the 20-30 minutes of the first half of the game will decide who goes on to win. And if Pakistan don't score and Nepal do, I think the 12th man could get to Pakistan and they might crumble. So it's imperative for Pakistan to score early, perhaps drop back defensive, and just play on the counter after that.
Right. Hassan Bashir is his man. Who is your man from the Nepali team?
Well, today, Bharat Khawas is the man.
Right. Bharat Khawas, of course, he silenced the critics already. If I were to ask your predictions of today's game, what do you think, Shahrukh?
I opted for an Indian win last time. That came true, but considering how Pakistan performed that game and how they were training yesterday, I think that Pakistan will edge it with 1-0, and I also think that Hassan Bashir will score.
Okay. What about you,
I'll go for a 1-0 win for Nepal.
Okay, so you believe Pakistan is not going to score?
Yes.
Okay. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Both high experts believing that their team is going to go 1-0 up. We'll have to wait and find out because this is a huge match in this SAFF Championship 2013. Stay tuned to us. We will be right back with live action.